Follow me on a journey where no one has ever been before. Listen to TheCaliEffect.
Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today, we're going to be doing an interesting card for card review. A card that I really think that can change a format or dictate the way cards are played later on in a format, called Metaion the Timelord. Now, Metaion the Timelord is a level 10 fire-type fairy monster with 0 attack and 0 defense. I know those stats sound horrible. It doesn't even, like, why would I tribute 2 monsters for a monster with 0 attack and 0 defense? But there's just a little bit more to him. Metaion's effect reads, cannot be special summoned from the deck. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Ooh. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. You take no battle damage from battles involving this face of attack position card. At the end of the battle phase, if this card attacked or was attacked, return all other monsters on the field to the hand, and affect 300 damage for each card returned. During your standby phase, shuffle this card into your deck, even if face down. Now, Metaion the Timelord has some very interesting, conflicting type of attributions. So, being level 10 isn't the best thing in the game right now. Probably the best levels would be probably like 4, 6, 7, and 8. But 10 isn't that bad. We still have Gundari, the one that's almost like a black ship of corn, except it destroys the card and it can target any card on the field. And we also have cards just like Super Rail Gustav Dreadnought Mega Rail Train Cannon Thing Max. That card, yeah. The one right beside me that inflicts 2,000 points of damage just by detaching. So we can eventually in main phase 2 find a way to special summon some other level 10 monster and then exceed into one of these amazing cards. Now granted, that isn't really there, that aspect isn't really there right now, but that's the amazing thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an ever-evolving game. So the ability to special summon level 10 monsters, I believe, are really soon to come and very easily. Down to another great thing about Metaion is that it is a fairy type monster. There is one amazing fairy type monster that just completely devastates people called Apoqliphort. And more often than not, Apoqliphort gets Metaion back to the hand, but if they ever find a way to get over your Apoqliphort, then Metaion comes back to the field to get rid of that monster threat. Apoqliphort is on the top of your deck, so it might just be a dead draw. Actually, no, alright, never mind. Apoqliphort might be on the top of your deck, so it could be a dead draw, but Metaion definitely just got rid of the threat that more than likely got rid of Apoqliphort. So, I mean, they go hand in hand. And if Metaion ever would to be going to the graveyard one more time again, then Apoqliphort back to your hand. That's amazing. Another thing about Metaion is that Cephalon, I always call him Syphilis for some reason. Cephalon the Timelord works really good in conjunction with this card. Let's say if Metaion does hit the graveyard in some way, shape, or form. I mean, granted, it is not being able to be destroyed by battle or card effects is pretty hard, but we're going to say it did hit the graveyard. Cephalon can revive Metaion as a 4,000 attack monster. I think that's really good for a deck. A 4,000 attack fairy monster with no effect, so it won't bounce back to the deck. I think that can be essential for any type of deck that can abuse both of those cards. Metaion has a couple of great aspects with it, and those are just the outlets that we could combo with Metaion with. Ultimately, Metaion is a level 10 monster that gets rid of cards like Shaddoll WInda. It gets rid of cards like the new Apoqliphort, the new tool monster deck that's coming out in the future. It gets over them very easy, especially the killer. You know, saying that the killer is unaffected, blah blah blah. Well, summon Metaion, and Metaion practically gets rid of him by himself. And if you can combo that with some Pendulum Destruction cards, your opponent won't be summoning a Quillhoff or Quillpock or whatever his name is, killer, in a very long time. This card also works extremely good with cards like Mind Crush. So if you are siding in this card as well as Mind Crush, not only can you manipulate and see whatever they have in their hand, you can also put back cards to their hand, so you're always right with Mind Crush. Essentially, not only do you get to get rid of their hand or get rid of card monsters in their hand, you also get to get rid of or see their hand as well. This card gets over really good protection cards, so if my opponent activates Forbidden Lance on a card that I'm trying to Dark Hole, I can just go ahead and follow up with Cephalon, because Cephalon doesn't target, So Save Zone, it gets over cards like Save Zone, Forbidden Dress, whoever plays Forbidden Dress, and it also gets over cards like Glance because it's not being affected by spell or traps, it's being affected by a monster. Metaion has a lot of great uses, and I really can't put them on the board, but during game state when your opponent summons a shit ton of monsters, because we're getting back to that format, you just summon Metaion again and get rid of those cards. Like, there's nothing else much to be said. It's great for getting rid of Synchros and Xyz as long as they're not Mermo Abyss Gaios, because who hasn't been burned by Gaios before? Wait, isn't Gaios the same? No, it's the same attacker lower. But ultimately, I feel like this is a really good utility sideboard card that will be great against certain decks that go into the extra deck a lot, decks that summon these type of monsters that are extremely hard to get over. It's almost like a Grand Mole at the very least. The bad thing is that yes, it does go back to your deck on your next standby phase, but really, who cares when it already did its job? It's returning monsters to the hand or extra deck where they be. You really have to play this card differently than you would play any other card. I would just consider it a really, really strong Grand Mole because it hits everything on the board, whereas Grand Mole would only hit one. Well, that's all I really can say about this card, but thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.